Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and let's talk about everybody's favourite Australian. Actually, he is everybody's favourite Australian in Overwatch, isn't he? Because Roadhog is New Zealand, isn't he? Yeah, that's right. Mako's from New Zealand, and Junkrat is from Australia. So let's talk about Junkrat, because he has been buffed. Now, we know he's been buffed for a while, and a lot of Junkrat centers around his double concussion mine, because Junkrat is very much in the meta right now, like a couple of other heroes are. But Junkrat, you see him all of the time. You see him used on loads of different maps, and the question is why? And I guess the deeper question is this actually too much of a buff? And do they need to look at Concussion Mine and potentially maybe change the way it works? So, why is Junkrat so good? Well, on a lot of maps, the way Overwatch is designed, there are a lot of choke points. Junkrat can spam the choke point. This is no different. Junkrat has always been able to spam the choke point. However, there has been one pretty solid counter to a Junkrat, and that is, you hit him with a flanker. You get in there with a Genji. You get in there with a Tracer. I don't know, you rush in with a McCree. You do something where you're getting close to Junkrat, because Junkrat cannot really put out damage onto you. The old Junkrat only had one concussion mine, and all he could do with that is move himself away or be offensively. So he could be defensively or offensively, right? So when I say move himself away, what I mean is you could chuck the concussion mine on the floor, detonate it, and jump up into the air, and maybe it makes him a bit more difficult to be killed if he's being dived on by a Tracer or something, or he could just throw it into a team fight and try and kill somebody with it, right? It's 120 damage. It's a lot of damage. I mean, Junkrat's primary attack is frag launcher with the grenade. That does 120 damage when it's a direct hit. It also does splash damage, obviously, but direct hits is 120 damage. The concussion mine just does 120 damage. If he chucks that at you and it blows up, it's going to do 120 damage to you, which is obviously a lot of damage. However, why is Junkrat different now with only this kind of minor change? Well, Junkrat is much more fun to play. Like before, he was kind of fun. I enjoyed Junkrat, but you only really used him in certain situations, right? On certain maps, Nepal Sanctum, Dorado first point, maybe Hanamura first point. There was a lot of specific situations you could use a Junkrat in. Now, he's a lot more viable, because what you can do with him is you can be defensive and offensive in the same kind of moment. Like, you can throw a concussion mine out to try and damage somebody, but then you can also use one to blow yourself away, or use one to move yourself. He's much more dynamic. He's way more fun to play. However, what is the issue, I think, with Junkrat? Well, it is the concussion mine, right? This is 120 damage. If he gets dove by... Is that the word? Dove? I suppose it is, right? Dove... Yeah, dived upon, dove, whatever. If somebody jumps onto him, like a Tracer or a Genji, in the past, Junkrat had to try and hit them with a concussion mine. It would do 120 damage, right, if he gets them with it. So Tracer's now down to 30 health, right? Genji's got 200 health, I think, so he's now down to 70 health. So what you're looking at there, has he got? I think he has, right? I might have got that wrong with Genji. You know what, let me just check. I'll check actually in the video. Genji... how much health do you have? I'm sure it's 200. Yeah, it's 200. I thought it was. So yeah, in the past, you throw the concussion mine, hope it hits him, then try and hit him with the frag launcher. That's the problem, right? You've got to get them with the frag launcher as well. However, all of that is just completely out of the window now. If Tracer goes anywhere near a Junkrat into Tracer's lethal kill range on the Junkrat, Junkrat's like, no, Tracer, no. You see, I've got this thing called a concussion mine, and I'm going to throw it in your face. And guess what? I've got another one, and I'm going to throw that in your face as well. So it means Junkrat is very hard to attack. Like, even if somebody like Winston dives onto Junkrat, it's like, all right, Junkrat's probably not going to kill the Winston before the Winston kills the Junkrat, right? Because Winston's going to move around. It's going to be hard for all of the shots to land from Junkrat. I mean, obviously, Junkrat's going to find it much easier to hit Winston with the frag launcher, because Winston's a massive ape from space, right? He's massive. So you're going to hit him with a lot of primary fire. You're going to hit him with both concussion mines, so you're going to do 240 damage to him anyway, and then you're just going to start doing damage. You're probably going to trap him as well. If you manage to do that, you can back off and then kill him. However, if he does jump on top of you, you can just kind of escape. Whereas before, Junkrat would have found it much more difficult because he didn't have the double concussion mine. The only hero in this game right now which completely screws over Junkrat is Pharah, right? Or, unless he's in stupid positions, allowing himself to get sniped by a Widowmaker, or allowing Soldier or a McCree to just drill him from range. Everybody else has a severe problem with Junkrat. Now, there is one hero that does sort of benefit from Junkrat as he is right now, and that's Zarya. The thing is, it's kind of a weird benefit. Now, she benefits because obviously she can easily charge her primary fire now, because, well, if there's loads of Junkrat spam, you can just turn on your bubble and walk into the spam and be like, oh, cheers for the charge, Mr. Junkrat. Thanks for the 40 charge, and then you put your barrier onto an ally, and then you're on 80 charge. It's very easy to get high charge. The thing is, though, it's kind of difficult to sort of pressure the Junkrat as the Zarya, because even if you're using your bubbles, it doesn't really matter. He's just going to blast through them with the damage he's putting out, and then he's going to start putting damage into you. And that's the thing. This Junkrat is very hard to sort of kill. He puts out a lot of damage, and I think that is only because of the concussion mine situation. It's almost if the concussion mine's doing maybe a little bit too much damage. Like, the fact he can chuck these out really quick and just pump damage into targets that should be able to basically duel him at close range is kind of a bit weird. Like, it means he's really strong. Like, a lot of people have been saying things like, oh, Junkrat takes no skill. You know, anybody can play Junkrat. That's not really true. Junkrat does take skill. It's like every hero in the game takes a level of skill. The thing with Junkrat, though, is the way his weapon works, because he can bounce his shots around corners, is he can be out of the line of sight while still contributing to damage, yeah? And the only way to get the Junkrat is to dive on top of him. While you're trying to dive him, it's obviously very survivable, as I've just discussed, because of the concussion mine. So what do I think Blizzard could possibly do with Junkrat? Well, I think it would be quite surprising if we still see this Junkrat with this concussion mine for Season 7 competitive, and maybe even after the next sort of balance patch. I think what they might do is tune the amount of damage the concussion mine does by only a little bit. I don't think they're going to get rid of the 2 concussion mines. In fact, if I think they did that, that would be a horrifically bad move. It'd be kind of like what they almost did to Mercy, where they removed Mercy's ability to refresh her res after she uses Valkyrie. Obviously, now she doesn't do that, but she still kind of gets 2 charges of res. So she's got this sort of explosion of like, res, which was the cool thing about it. Now, Junkrat has got the explosion of concussion mine. And that is a fun thing. And that needs to stay in the game. But I think maybe reducing it a little bit is probably a good idea. Also, let's talk about Riptide, because I haven't really touched on that in this video, but what I want to say about Riptide is I think it's in a fairly okay place right now. Obviously, it was crazily OP when it could launch off the top of buildings and go into the sky. It would be silent, moving through the air, and then suddenly blows up all of your team. It can't do that anymore. It doesn't conserve momentum. So what I mean by that is it doesn't, you know, like when you play the new Mercy, if you disconnect Guardian Angel, she flies forward. Or if you grapple hook with Widowmaker, disconnect as you're jumping, you sort of like carry on going forward. Well, that happened with the Riptide. So it meant you could drive up a wall and just fly straight into the sky. It was crazy. It doesn't do that anymore. It sort of sticks to the top of the building, so it is easier to kill. I think Riptide is kind of okay right now, but I just think it's concussion mine that's the issue with Junkrat. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Junkrat is an interesting topic. It's one of my favorite heroes in the game. I think he's in a really good place right now, and I think he only needs a little bit of tuning just to make him sort of like a little I guess it is power, like reduce his power a little bit, just to give the people who are supposed to be almost his direct counter maybe a little bit more of a chance. But as I say, Pharah is a major counter to Junkrat. Like, Junkrat cannot touch Pharah. It's kind of funny because I think it was Scott Mercer said on the official forums, I think it was Scott Mercer or maybe it was Jeff Goodman, the reason why they'd give Junkrat the double concussion mine is because he could then try and contest Pharah, or it would give him options against Pharah. It doesn't really. I mean, yeah, if she's low, you can maybe throw both of them at her and get her, or do some crazy Junkrat acrobatics, but most of the time, you want to get the hell out of there. So anyway, guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost. Let me know what you think about Junkrat. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. All right, guys, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Oh, and join the Discord, which is discord.gg/UnitLost. See you later, guys. Toodaloo.